So hello students, now I am going to discuss the JEE main paper of math that happened on 18th March, second shift. Let us discuss in detail how the paper happened. So see the first question. In a triangle ABC, determinant of magnitude of AB is given 10 and mod BC is given 8 and mod CA is given 7. Then we need to find the projection of AB on AC. So to solve this, if you observe this triangle ABC, so AB length of AB is given 10, BC is given 8, CA is given 7. So projection of AB on AC, that is BD. So BD is what we need to find. Right? So to find the value of BD, we can say that it will become 10 cos A, and we can find the value of cos A using cosine rule. So applying cosine rule, we get the value of cos A as 85 by 140. So simplifying that, the value will be simplified to 85 upon 14. This is how we can solve. Right? Next. See the next one. There's an equation given in terms of sin and cos. We need to find the value of 8 cosec power 6 theta plus 27 sec power 6 theta. So from the given equation, try to find the value of sin theta. So to find the value of sin theta, what we can do is convert cos in terms of sin using the identity cos square theta is 1 minus sin square theta. So convert cos in terms of sin using cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta. So from that we get a quadratic in terms of sin square theta. Solving that, we get the value of sin square theta as 2 by 5. So once you get the value of sin square theta, we get the value of cos square theta. And from there we can get the values of sec theta and cosec theta. Substituting them and simplifying them, we get the value will be simplified to 250. Right. I hope this is clear. See the next one. In a series of 2n observations, half of them are A. And the other half are minus A. If B is added in all the observations, then the mean and standard deviation of new series are 5 and 20. Then find the value of A square plus B square. This is what we need to solve. So to solve this, so we have the term A n times and minus A n times. So for the given terms, what will be the mean? For the given terms, mean will become 0. Right? Because sum of terms will become 0 for this. Next, by adding a term B, mean will also be added by B. So the new mean will be initial mean plus B is given as 5. So from that we get B is equal to 5. Next, what about standard deviation? Standard deviation will remain same as before. So applying formula for standard deviation. The value of standard deviation will become simplified to A, which is 20. So we got the value of A as 20 and the value of B as 5. See the next one. The two circles S1 and S2. We need to find the locus of the center of the circle which touches S1 internally and S2 externally. The locus of that center will always pass through which point is the question. Right? So always consider let h comma k be a point in the locus. So this is the point P. Now this circle, if you observe the diagram, this dotted circle should touch S1 internally and S2 externally. Right? So what are the condition for two circles to touch internally? Distance between the two centers should be equal to difference of radius. And for touching externally, distance between the two centers should be equal to sum of the two radius. So using those conditions, applying those conditions, we get the locus of the point P. If you observe, we are getting that as sum of distances from two fixed points always remains constant. So here the locus of the point P will form an ellipse with S1, S2 as focus, and the length of measure axis will become 2a, which is 4. So we get a is equal to 2, and the difference between them will become 1. So 2a will become 2. So a is 1. So from that we can get the equation of ellipse in this form. Right? So from the given options, you can identify which option will satisfy the given condition. So this one, g of x is given, integral 0 to x, f of t dt. Now here f of x is given continuous function on 0 to 3, such that for all x belonging to closed 0, 1, f of x has range. So domain is 0, 1, range is 1 by 3, 1. And when it's line between 1 to 3, the range is from 0 to half. Now, we need to find the maximum range in which g of 3 lies. Right? Now, if you observe, the value of g of 3 should lie in between the minimum value and the maximum value. Right? So the minimum value will become by integrating the minimum values and the maximum values. We get the range of the function g of 3, which will lie in between 1 by 3 and 2. Next. An experiment is performed 5 times. It is given that the probability of one success is 0.4096 and probability of 2 successes is given. We need to find the probability of 3 success. So total number of times you are performing is given as 5. So n is equal to 5. P is the probability of success. Is P. Let Q be the probability of failure. Q will become 1 minus P. Now, using that we have two equations, two unknowns. So solving these two equations for the two given terms, we can get the values of P and Q. So we got P as 1 by 5 and Q as 4 by 5. So once you get the values of P and Q, you can find probability of the success. Right? So once you get the idea, this becomes a simple question to solve. So the next one, Sn denote sum of the first n terms of an AP. So S for n minus S2n is equal to 1000. Sum of the first 4 n terms minus sum of the first 2 n terms is given 1000. Now we need to find the value of S6n. Sum of the first 6 n terms will be how much? Is what we need to find. So apply formula for sum of n terms of an AP, n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So applying that formula for finding sum to n terms of an AP and simplifying that, we get one equation in terms of a n and d. And if you simplify that by taking 6n by 2 common, we get a value which will be in the form of sum to 6n terms of the AP. Right? We don't need to find any of these terms. We don't need to find the first term. We don't need to find the common difference. We don't need to find any of these terms. So just by simplifying the given terms, we will be able to find sum to 6n terms of the given AP. Which of the following is a tautology? So here we have to verify all the options one by one. One way is by using the properties that we are having, or else one more method will be by using truth tables. So you can use both the methods. Using any of the two methods, you can verify that. So I think here this can be solved by applying either properties or by using truth tables. Both the methods can be used. Right? So we get option 4 as the answer. Option 4 satisfies. Tautology means what? A statement which is always true. So the option 4 will always be true. Next, C9. This system of equations has a non-trivial solution, very standard type of question. So the condition for system of equations to have a non-trivial solution is that the determinant of coefficients of the given equations should become 0. Right? So applying that condition, applying determinant to 0, the value of mu is getting eliminated and we are getting the value of lambda as 6. So lambda will be 6 and the value of mu can belong to any real number. Next, find the area bounded by this curve. So first, if you try to plot graph of this, when will y become 0? At what points? At 0, at 2 and 4. At all these points, the value of y will become 0. So when will this be positive? Y square is always positive. So it's possible only when the value of x lying between 2 to 4. So it's possible only when the value of x lying between 2 to 4. So to find the area enclosed. So from this you can find the value of y. So y will be x by 2 times square root of this. Now trying to convert it into this form. We are trying to convert this into form of the formulas that we are having. Right? So area will become 2 times because having y square, it will be symmetric about x will be below. Right? So integrating by converting it into the formulas of the standard form, integrating and applying limits 2 to 4, we get the value simplified to 3 by 1. Right? I hope you can understand the calculation. So the next one, the value of omega is given in the form of a complex number. And mod z times omega is given 1. And the relation between their arguments is given. So we need to find area of triangle formed by the points omega and z and origin. So we can write mod z into omega as mod z into mod omega. Mod omega is 2. So mod z will become half. And angle between these two becomes 90. So this forms a right angle triangle. Area will become half base into height. Base is 2. Height is half. So simple value will become half. Next. This is a curve given in this form. X square minus 2y square is equal to 4. Tangents are drawn at the point P, which will cut the x-axis at the point R. And let us rectum at Q. F is the focus nearest to P. Then we need to find area of triangle QPF. So P is given 4 comma root 6. So what will be lattice rectum? You can draw that while passing through focus. We get focus as root 6 comma 0. Right? So we're getting the points Q, P, and F by finding the value of E. You get the coordinates of focus. Right? So once you get all these 3 points, you can find the area of triangle by applying the formulas that we're having. which will give us the answer. Next, dy by dx is given and the value of y of 0 is given as 2. Then we need to find y dash of 1. So bring this x term to this side. Now divide with y plus 1 whole square on both the sides. Now to convert it to linear form, let us substitute y plus 1 whole power minus 1 as some other term z. So substituting this term as z and differentiating, derivative of this will be in this form, will become dz, right? So we're getting a linear equation in terms of z. Now to solve this linear equation, find integrating factor. Find the integrating factor first, applying formula of integrating factor, and then solving the given differential equation. Right? So this from this we get the value of c. So then we can do the math. We can calculate it to get the final answer. Once we get the function, once we get the value of y, we can differentiate and then substitute the value of x is equal to 1. So differentiating and substituting x equal to 1, we get the final answer. Now, this is a very standard question. We have seen this question many books. So first, try to take in the second term x power half common. So taking x power half common, the other term will get cancelled, and finding factors for the first term also, the terms will get cancelled. So the whole given term will be simplified to the form x power 1 by 3 minus x power minus 1 by 2 whole power 10. So simplify the given question to this form. Once you simplify the given question to this form, now it becomes easy and simple. Now to solve this, find the general term, and to find the term independent of x, equate the power of x to 0. From that we get the value of r is equal to 4. And once you get the value of r is equal to 4, we can find the fifth term, which is given by this. Right? Next is types of relations. Usually one question comes always from relations. So it is given that A and B are two square matrices of order n. A relation R is defined such that R is a relation from A comma B such that A is equal to P inverse BP for some invertible matrix P. Then R is what type of relation? So for reflexive, A comma A should belong to R. So the observation, can you identify if A comma A satisfies, right? Because P inverse AP will be same as A comma A satisfy. So this is reflexive, and if A comma B satisfies, then B comma A also satisfies from the property of multiplication of matrices. If A comma B satisfies, then B comma A also satisfies. So as A comma B and B comma A both satisfies, it forms symmetric. And next for transitive, if A comma B satisfies and B comma C satisfies, then C comma A will also satisfy by multiplying those matrices by applying the properties. You can identify that. So it will be transitive as well. So it is following satisfying all the conditions. So it forms a equivalence relation. Next, tangent at a point on this curve. It is cutting the intercept on the coordinate axis. Right? Let us solve this. Whose sum of intercepts is minimum. So there is a point on this. This is a tangent which is cutting the x axis and the y axis at some points. The coordinates will become the x-intercept and the y-intercept at those points. Now you can find the equation of tangent at the point theta. From there you can find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Right? Once you get the x-intercept and y-intercept, sum of intercepts will be in this form. Now to get the minimum or maximum value for this, we will differentiate this and equate that to 0. Differentiating and equating to 0. We get the value of tan theta, from which we get the value of theta as 5/6. Next, centroid of an equilateral triangle ABC is given. Centroid of this triangle is origin, and one of the side is given. Then the value of capital R plus small r will be what? So distance from centroid to the side will give us the value of small r, and as it is equivalent to a triangle, capital R will become 2 times of small r. So once we get both the values, we can find sum of that. Easy question. Next, there is a function given. F defined from domain and range is given. So for that, for the two functions, sum of their inverse functions is given as 13 by 2. So you can find the inverse functions. Easy question. For the given functions, for f of x you can find f inverse, and for g of x also you can find g inverse, and sum of those two is given as 13 by 2. So solving that quadratic, we get the value of x is equal to 2 or 3. There will be two possibilities. Next, we have a differential equation. It's dy minus y dx is given by this, and the value of y at x equal to 1 is given 0. We need to find area bounded by this. Y is equal to 0 is nothing but x-axis. The line x equal to 1 and x equal to e power 5 is given in terms of alpha and beta. We need to find the value of this. Right? So to solve the differential equation, divide this equation on both the sides with x square. So converting it into exact differential form. Converting it into the form of exact differential, we'll be able to solve this. So solving, we get the value of the function as y is equal to x sine ln x. So to find the area, integrating between the limits 1 and e power pi. So simplifying that and comparing with the answer given, we get the values of alpha and beta in this form. right? So comparing with the answer, we get alpha as 1 by 5, beta also as 1 by 5. So simplifying that, we get 10 times alpha plus beta as 4. So in a triangle ABC, whose circumference is 2, the pole is standing inside the triangle ABC. So the angle of elevations from the top of the poles is 60 degrees. Then we need to find the height. So simply if you apply tan 60, will become h by 2. So from this we get h is equal to 2 root 3. Next, the function q of x is given, and it is given that q of x is divisible by this. Then we need to find q of 1. So roots of q of x will be omega and omega square. So q of omega and q of omega square will become 0. Adding these two equations, we get a relation in terms of f of 1 and g of 1. So from there we get g of 1 is 2 times f of 1. So it's possible that only when both becomes 0. So the value of q of 1 also will become 0, substituting x equal to 1. The matrix P is given and P per n is given in this form. Then what will be the value of 8P is what we need to find. We need to find what will be the value of n. So P per n will become 5i. So just try to find the value of P power 2, P square, P power 4. So finding the values of P square, P power 4 and P power 6. Now find 5i minus 8p, and you can observe that the value of n will be equal to 6. So we don't have any other option. Next, image of this point in this plane is given. So we need to find the values of A and B. Right? So apply formula for finding image. The midpoint of these two should lie on the equation of plane. So from that we get one equation in terms of A and B. Midpoint should satisfy. So from there we get one equation in terms of A and B. And the coordinates of the distance between PQ is what we can find. So we get one more equation in terms of A and B. So solving these two equations simultaneously, you can get the values of A and B, for which we get mod A plus B will become 1. Next, a function is given. It is given that it is continuous at x equal to 0. So applying condition for continuity. So the value of left hand limit should be equal to the value of right hand limit should be equal to the value of the function at that point. Right? So equating left hand limit, right hand limit, and the value of the function at that point. We get two equations in terms of A and B. So solving those two equations, we can get the values of A and B. Right? So we get A is equal to -4 and B is equal to -half. Is given in terms of alpha and beta. We need to find alpha plus beta. So we get the value of alpha plus beta is 4. Simply applying formulas of this, we have directed formulas for these terms. So applying the directed formulas and simplifying, we can compare and get the values of alpha and beta. This equation is given. So just by observing this function, we can identify that the function should be in the form f of x is equal to a power x. So f dash of x will become a power x ln a, right? So f dash of 0 will become ln a. So from that we get the value of a as e power 3. The function will become e power 3x. Now applying the limit, that formula we're having, the value becomes 3. F of x is a cubic polynomial. So f dash of x will become quadratic in this form because it's having maxima and minima at these 2 points. So integrating we get the function and f of 2 is given. So from that we can get the value of one equation in terms of k and c. Second equation can be obtained from the integration formula. And from there we get the sum of coefficients as 8. Thank you.